All right, here's our homework for tonight, Wednesday, May 1st. Your objective is to find the best quotes that support your answers. Okay, so we're finishing up the pod from our close reader, pages 19 through 24. So this is the second half of the story. So if you remember from yesterday, Jesse found a dolphin stranded on the beach, and he's trying to find a way to get the dolphin back out into the water to its pod. The pod is like the family. Even if he managed to drag this creature that weighed, maybe 75 pounds, back to the water, the coarse sand might damage its skin. Jesse looked helplessly toward the gray ocean and was surprised to see dark shapes arcing out of the waves. A pod, Pete's word, of dolphins was out there. "I think your family's waiting for you, bud." Carefully, Jesse reached out and patted the dolphin. Was it his imagination that his touch made the dolphin calmer? Jesse didn't waste time thinking about that. He was trying to remember what Pete had said about how, when he'd helped rescue a stranded dolphin, they had put the creature on a sort of blanket sling and carried that contraption down to the water. Well, he didn't have a blanket handy, so his windbreaker would have to do. Carefully, Jesse scooped a hollow in the soft sand under the dolphin's head, then eased part of the windbreaker under it. He was streaming with sweat by the time he'd managed to maneuver as much of the dolphin as possible onto its makeshift blanket, then began to drag the dolphin toward the water. Twice his legs buckled under him, tumbling him backward onto the sand, but he kept going until water was lapping around his ankles. "Almost there, bud," Jesse gritted. As Jesse waded knee-deep into the water, the dolphin made some kind of noise and then began to swim. "Woohoo!" Jesse yelled, then yelped in dismay. The dolphin was swimming back toward the shore. What was wrong with the crazy creature? Pete's voice began to drone in Jesse's mind again, recounting his own dolphin rescue. The dolphin was disoriented. It kept heading for the shore. We had to guide it back into the deep water. Excuse me. Jesse waded deeper past the breakers. Icy waves broke against him as he tried to head off the young dolphin. When he finally managed that, it wouldn't turn. He wished he had paid more attention to Pete's lecture, but wishing never helped. Waves sent freezing spumes into his face. "Bud, you've got to save yourself," Jesse gritted through chattering teeth. "Nobody's going to do it for you. If you give up, you're finished." Suddenly, as if it had last understood, the young dolphin turned toward deeper water and began to swim toward the pod. Waiting dolphins arced nearer as if in welcome, and watching them, Jesse thought of his own family. They'd be worried because he'd been gone so long. "My pod," he thought. He was freezing as he limped back to his car, but he was grinning, and he was happier than he'd been in a long while. He was going to drive to the nearest store and call Pete, who would probably contact the Cape Cod Stranding Network hotline that he'd been talking about. The CCSN would make sure Bud didn't strand again. But that's not going to happen anyway, Jesse said aloud. He had a feeling that the young dolphin was finally on the right track. Okay, here's your homework question. What does the dolphin symbolize in this story? And how do you know? Use ape to respond. Symbolize means that the dolphin represents someone or something. Who does this dolphin represent? Who does he represent? He represents a person in this story. Someone else who's been injured or stranded. Who could that be? So who does that dolphin represent? And how do you know? And that's it. I'll see you all tomorrow.